Hey, what's up guys? It's Texumer talking to you here. And today I want to talk about something interesting because Ross Young has told us that the Pro Display XDR is going to be delayed. Yes, that's a very sad news to hear because the Pro Display XDR, it's actually a very important product for Apple this year. It's the first time that Apple will join the mini LED promotion display with a 27-inch size. So that's a very important display for Apple. And so I'm very excited to see Apple deal with that technology this year. But according to leaker Ross Young, which is very reliable, we are expecting it to be delayed until October. So the question posed is Apple going to release the Pro Display XDR on WWDC? Or is Apple simply just going to announce it on October and release it on the same day? Well, that's a very interesting question to pose because we also have the Mac Pro and we don't have heard anything saying that the Mac Pro is going to be delayed. So what about that? Are we going to get the Mac Pro in one event and the Pro Display XDR on another event? Well, I don't think so. I think that the Pro Display XDR will be released at the same time as the Mac Pro. So we have two options, the Mac Pro and the Pro Display XDR delayed until October to November timeline, or we just get them preview on this event and we simply just get them later, like they have done in 2019 with the other Mac Pro and the first Pro Display XDR. So those are the two possibilities that I want to explore in this video, and what are the things are we going to get on WWDC if you don't see these two pieces of hardware in June 6th. So if you are excited for that, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I will really appreciate your support. That really happens and that really helps growing my channel. So if you are excited, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. So no further ado, roll the intro. So, as you know, the Pro Display XDR has been delayed. According to Ross Young, this happens because of the Quanta shutdowns, just because of the virus. So, that's normal. Apple has to deal with this in a lot of things. But what happens if Apple just has to delay the Pro Display XDR until October? Well, nothing. Nothing happens. They will just preview the Pro Display XDR and the Mac Pro and release it at the end of the year. Nothing changes. I will still add up that the fact that Apple will probably do that. Instead of the problems with the supply chain, Apple will probably do that just fine. Because they normally do that. As you know, in 2019 they did that with the Mac Pro and Pro Display XDR. They will do it again this year with the Mac Pro and Pro Display XDR refreshes, or at least a new display from Apple. So that's normal. I will think that Apple will do that just fine. And of course, what other things are we expecting for this event? Because normally WWDC is just a software event. It's not a hardware packed event. Last year we didn't get any hardware. The year before we got the Mac Pro and the Pro Display XDR. The year before that, no hardware. And the year before that, we got the iMac Pro. So how can we deal with that this year? Are we going to see any hardware? Are we not going to see any hardware? Well, one thing that we should expect is the fact that Apple will probably release iOS 16, iPadOS 16, macOS, and watchOS. Those are certain things, 10 out of 10 are possibilities of coming out. iOS 16 will probably be delayed because of bugs. There are leaks saying that. iPadOS 16 needs a complete revamp from the start. The iPadOS team needs to work and a lot and make it very great. macOS, I don't think needs something, just correct the bugs and some design tweaks that are very weird. watchOS, nothing. I don't have anything for watchOS. Improve battery life, efficiency, maybe. That's it. Of course, these softwares are usual on WWDC. So these are not new things and we should expect them. So if you are not expecting these things, well, it's weird. Do figure out things fine because we will get them. So be excited if you are excited for hardware, but completely understand this is a software event because software will come. It's the main thing of this event. It's the main focus of this event. So if software is here, we will see also Craig Federighi. I'm very excited for that. But of course, as I was telling you, the hardware that we should expect, not the Pro Display XDR, not the Mac Pro, we should expect the M2 lineup to be unveiled. Yes, the M2 chip with the M2 Mac Mini and the M2 MacBook Pro. These two are very important computers on their Apple lineup, and you ask me, why not the M2 MacBook Air? Well, that's a complete redesign that will probably come out at the end of the year, not in WWDC. But why is Apple releasing the M2 Mac Mini and the M2 MacBook Pro if they have been trouble releasing the M2 Mac Air? Well, the fact is, the M2 Mac Mini and the M2 MacBook Pro won't be huge redesigns. The M2 Mac Mini will get new colors, a little bit slimmer body. The M2 MacBook Pro will just get rid of the touch bar, and that's it. So yes, this happens, and Apple will just keep the same factory lines that they have been using for the last few years. So they just put the M2 chip on the side of the M1, they will take the M1 out, put the M2. That's it. That's the thing's done. So they don't have to change anything on the factory lines, and that's why that's very easy for Apple to release these two computers. And that's why I'm expecting them with a lot of certainty to come out in this event. Apple wants to explain probably the M2 generation and architecture to developers, and that makes a lot of sense. Another thing that we should also expect, or at least we could expect in a one more thing event, is the AR goggles or the VR goggles or the mixed reality glasses that Apple is probably working on a lot. So if it does not happen this year, probably next year, but Apple has to announce this to developers so they start working on programs and apps and optimizing them for an AR OS. I'm very excited for that, and if that happens, I really expect it to be a one more thing on this event. But Apple has come out and said, developers, come to our campus and watch the event for a reason. So I'm excited, I'm very, very hopeful that the VR glasses are that reason. So yes, if that happens, I'm very, very excited. But if not, we'll still get the M2 lineup, still get the new software, iPadOS 16, I'm very excited for that. Then we will probably get the preview for the Mac Pro and Pro Display XDR. Those will come out at the end of the year. That's fine, I don't really care about that. I mean, we're going to get an amazing end of 2022. Imagine that. We're going to get the iPhone 14, we're going to get the Apple Watch, we're going to get the new M2 iPad Pro, we're going to get the new M2 MacBook Air at the end of the year. All of these things that are going to be huge redesigns. All of them are going to be huge redesigns. And on top of that, we get the M2 Mac Mini and the M2 MacBook Pro on WWDC. We're going to get the Mac Pro, the Full Display XDR even at the end of the year. So it's going to be a jam-packed end of 2022. So Apple has to manage things very right so the iPhone 14 doesn't steal the spotlight from the M2 MacBook Air, or the completely redesigned Apple Watch doesn't steal the spotlight from the new Mac Pro. So it's very weird, I know, but that happens, and sometimes Apple has to manage those things out. The attention needs to come to all of their children. So I do think that Apple wants to preview the Mac Pro and Pro Display XDR on the beginning of the WWDC timeline, so the new unveiling of 2022. So they will preview them, show all of the details, how they work, their technologies on 2022 WWDC. They completely show them to the world, telling them this is a new Mac Pro, this is a new Pro Display XDR, these are new technologies and how they work. These are the prices, and they're going to be released at the end of the year. And then at the end of the year, with a site refresh, they just drop them. So no attention, or very big attention required from media. So that's it. That's how I think Apple will deal with these delays for the Full Display XDR and Mac Pro. Just because of supply chains, I would be more worried if the iPhone 14 was delayed. So yes, that can happen. Virus stuff can happen, and other things can happen to factories that will shut them out, and Apple has to delay the products or cancel them out already. So let's see what Apple will do on June 6th, 2022, 3 weeks to go. I'm very, very excited for this event. I was not expecting to hear these leaks of Apple delaying things, but that happens, and Apple needs to deal with them very careful. So let's see what happens if Apple will preview the Pro Display XDR, the Mac Pro. Let's see if we can see the M2 lineup too. The given is the software. So iPadOS 16, the most exciting thing on WWDC. Till date, not counting the Mac Pro, of course. So I'm very, very excited for WWDC. Are you excited? What things are you excited for? Do you like the new Mac Pro and Pro Display XDR concepts that are floating around, or even the M2 idea of releasing the Mac Mini M2 MacBook Pro on the same designs? Let me know in the comments down below about that. And of course, drop on the comments down below what are your new requests for iOS 16 and iPadOS 16, macOS and watchOS. Let me know all of that on the comments down below. And while you're there, do not forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. That will really help me out on this growing journey. So thank you all for your support. This has been Tech Talking to you here. Bye.